take a deep breath. Let your heart open gently to what is present in this moment. Before we move forward, I invite you to pause and listen with an open spirit, for there is a sacred space waiting to be filled. Sometimes, in the quiet corners of our lives, we feel the weight of silence where once there was connection. It's as if the echoes of abandonment have carved deep lines into our hearts, leaving us to wonder if the voice that once called us home has vanished into the distance. We carry the ache of missing pieces, of old wounds that refuse to fully heal, and of a longing that whispers even in our quietest moments. The shadows of past doubts and feelings of separation can feel like a heavy blanket, making us question if anyone is truly watching over us. Yet, beneath that pain, there is a gentle, persistent whisper, an invitation to listen beyond what the eyes can see. It's as if an unseen presence is quietly watching, tenderly holding the fragments of your soul, even when the world seems to have turned away. This moment is not accidental. Something divine is quietly unfolding, reaching into the depths of your being, reminding you that you are not alone. If this touches your heart in any way, know that you are being called gently back to a sacred rhythm, a call that echoes through eternity, inviting you to reconnect. And so, I encourage you, subscribe to our channel and walk with us in prayer. Every day is a new chance to rediscover hope with God. Now, let us prepare to see what the divine voice reveals about all this. For there is a promise that can transform your view of this pain and bring new light into your journey. They have abandoned you, but heaven is still calling you. The Word of God has something direct to say about moments like this, when it feels like everyone has turned away and you're left alone in your pain. It's as if God is gently opening His Word to remind you that even in the silence and absence of human presence, His voice still calls out, louder than ever. One verse that speaks deeply to this truth is found in Isaiah 41 verse 10. It says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Another powerful promise comes from Matthew 28 verse 20, where Jesus assures us, "I am with you always, to the very end of the age." These verses reveal a profound reality. No matter how abandoned you feel or how distant others may seem, God's presence remains firm and unwavering. It's as if He's whispering to your heart, "You are not alone. My love is still here, holding you up, even when no one else does." This truth can be hard to believe when wounds from abandonment cut deep and shadows of loneliness linger. But here's the heart of it. God's calling isn't based on your circumstances or how people have failed you. It's rooted in His unchanging commitment to be near, to strengthen what feels fragile, and to remind you that His love endures beyond the pain. This promise is the foundation that can lift you from despair. It assures you that even in the darkest moments, Heaven's voice remains unwavering, inviting you to trust in a love that never leaves. Before we move forward, take this truth into your heart, because what you're feeling right now is not the end. The calling of heaven is still ringing, and it's calling you to hope once more. You may be fighting an internal war that no one sees, carrying burdens so deep that they weigh down your spirit and leave you feeling hollow inside. Perhaps you hide your pain behind a brave face, pretending everything is fine when inside, you're overwhelmed by silence and shadows. The scars of past abandonment linger, whispering doubts and fears that you are alone, unworthy of love or care. You might punish yourself silently, believing somehow that your suffering is a punishment you deserve, hiding your tears behind a mask of strength. In the quiet corners of your heart, shame and shame hide, making it difficult to breathe, to hope, to believe that healing is even possible. Maybe you compare yourself endlessly, measuring your pain against others and feeling like you fall short. Perhaps you punish yourself for past mistakes, convinced that your failures define you. Behind your efforts to appear strong, there's a quiet fear of exposure. Fear that if others truly saw your wounds, they might turn away. You may feel trapped in a cycle of doubt, questioning if anyone will ever truly see or understand the broken pieces of your soul. And in that silence, shame grows, making you feel small and invisible, even in the presence of those who love you. But rest assured, God has seen everything. The tears you've shed, the fears you've hidden, the pain that refuses to fade. He has not turned away or abandoned you, even when you felt most forsaken. His presence remains constant, quietly holding your broken pieces with gentle, unwavering love. You are not forgotten, and nothing in your heart is too dark for His grace. The love of God is greater than your pain, and His acceptance is deeper than your shame. You are seen, you are loved, and you are held in the tender embrace of divine compassion. If this truth is touching hidden areas of your heart, and you want to sow into this ministry that reaches you deeply, consider leaving a super thanks with a generous offering. Your seed allows us to continue bringing healing and truth to more people every day. And it is now, in this fragile place, that His answer will begin to emerge, as He reaches into the depths of your pain with gentle, transforming grace. They have abandoned you, but heaven is still calling you. What you see as chaos and abandonment is not how heaven perceives your story. You may look around and see brokenness, silence, or delay, feeling forgotten or forsaken. But from God's perspective, these moments are not the end. They are the quiet hands of a divine potter working in the dark, shaping something new from what seems like broken pieces. While your eyes focus on disorder, heaven sees the preparation of a masterpiece. When you feel lost, God perceives an exact moment of alignment, a divine timing that no human can fully grasp. God is not ignoring your silence or your tears. He is working in the unseen depths, in the hidden places where no one else can reach or understand. Imagine the shepherd who gently tends to his flock, knowing each sheep by name, guiding them through shadows and valleys. He sees your pain, your doubts, and your fears, not as signs of neglect but as vital parts of His loving craftsmanship. Like a vine that bears fruit in season, your life is being cultivated in ways you cannot see yet, with patience and mercy that never fail. What seems like abandonment may actually be divine preparation. The silence you interpret as rejection is sometimes the space where heaven is working the most, refining, restoring, and positioning you for what's to come. What feels like punishment can be God's way of caring, protecting you from unseen dangers, guiding you to a place of greater growth. The delays and quiet moments are often the quiet workings of love, preparing you for a new chapter that will soon unfold. And as you begin to see through heaven's eyes, your response will shift. Your heart will learn to trust beyond what is visible, opening the way for faith to rise. The next step will not come from desperation or doubt, but from a renewed confidence that God is always working, even in the silence. Now is the moment to believe, even without seeing the full picture. You don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing to take that first step of trust. Faith begins where control ends, where you release your grip and choose to believe beyond what your eyes can perceive. It is in surrender that true movement starts, even when fear tries to hold you back. Faith is taking a step forward while still feeling afraid, obeying before fully understanding, stepping out into the unknown like Abraham leaving everything familiar, or Peter stepping out of the boat with no ground beneath his feet. It's trusting that God's promises are real even when the circumstances seem uncertain. Faith in action is a deliberate choice to move forward, knowing that God is already working on your behalf. Let go of the weight of carrying everything alone. You don't have to understand everything to trust fully. Release your need to control the outcome and surrender your doubts, your fears, and your worries into His hands. If these words are activating faith within you, consider supporting this mission with a generous offering through the Super Thanks button. Your contribution is a seed of trust that allows us to continue spreading hope to thousands of people every day. And when you decide to trust, something invisible begins to move. It is in this step of surrender that promises start to take shape, even if you cannot see them yet. Trust opens the door for new things to emerge, for God's divine work to unfold in your life. You are not defined by your pain or your past. You are not what hurt you or what was taken from you. Your history does not hold the power to determine your future. Grace has rewritten your story. I declare that you are loved beyond measure, chosen by the one who never leaves nor forsakes you. The enemy's lies cannot erase the truth that you are a child of God, redeemed and called for purpose. You are more than the scars you carry. You are a vessel of divine strength and resilience. God's strength sustains you even when you feel weak. His promises are your foundation, not your feelings or circumstances. What He has begun in you, He will bring to completion. His purpose for your life is unshakable, and nothing in your past can undo what He is shaping within you now. You are set apart for something eternal, designed to shine in darkness and to be a light in the world. You are not standing still. You are advancing in divine alignment. Every step you take is guided by His hand, moving you closer to the fulfillment of your destiny. Nothing in your history is greater than what God is forming you into today. The future He calls you to is brighter than any shadow that tried to define you. Your identity is rooted in the victory of Christ, and your purpose is rooted in His eternal plan. And as I declare this truth, I believe that heaven is already responding. God is at work in unseen ways, moving the invisible on your behalf. The moment you speak these truths, heaven begins to shift and align in your favor. Your breakthrough is already in motion, even in the silence you cannot see. The Lord is working. Trust that He is already bringing to life what you cannot yet see with your eyes. Maybe you've been waiting so long that you no longer know if you should wait any longer. It may seem that God is silent, as if He has stopped in the middle of His promise. But silence does not mean absence. It's not a sign that He has forgotten or given up on you. Sometimes, it feels like things are at a standstill, like a seed buried deep underground, hidden from view yet quietly growing. Or like embroidery on the reverse side, beautiful progress happening behind the scenes, out of sight but meticulous and intentional. Perhaps it feels like a hidden pregnancy, life forming quietly within, unseen but full of purpose. God is working in those quiet spaces, in the secret chambers of your soul, where no one else can see. He never wastes silence. He is sowing something where no one can see, planting roots of strength and hope that will soon surface. What seems like wasted time may be precise preparation, a divine process of shaping and refining. He is healing parts of your past while you learn to breathe in the present. He is repositioning things that will only make sense when His time is right. While God takes care of what's around you, He is sculpting something inside you. And what He started in secret is about to appear in your new way of being. While everything around you may seem to be at a standstill, something has already begun to change within you. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. Deep inside, a quiet transformation is taking place. One that no eye can see but that your soul can feel. God is working silently, shaping qualities in your heart that will sustain you for what lies ahead. He is teaching you to trust beyond what you can immediately understand. Patience is forming in your spirit, not as a passive waiting, but as a confident reliance on His timing. Humility is taking root, softening your need to control and opening your eyes to His greater purpose. Within you, a gentle strength is emerging, an ability to listen before you react, to forgive before the hurt deepens, and to depend on His grace rather than your own understanding. You are learning that true peace is not the absence of trouble but an unshakable trust in His presence amid the chaos. Discernment is sharpening, helping you see beyond the surface and recognize His hand in every detail. Emotional healing is quietly restoring areas long wounded, releasing bitterness and regret, and replacing them with compassion and grace. This process requires your active surrender, resisting the urge to rush or resist what is happening. Don't fight what is healing you. Don't rush to leave this season of growth, because it is in this soil of patience that maturity takes root. Trust that God is working within you, even in moments of silence or delay, shaping a stronger, wiser, more resilient you. Now that you see what he is forming in your heart, faith, humility, peace, discernment, let's prepare to talk to him with this new awareness. The time has come to open your heart in honesty and gratitude, knowing that he is faithful to complete what he has begun in you. God, I come before you now with everything I carry and cannot let go of. My heart feels heavy, torn between what I have learned and what I still cling to in silence. There are wounds I haven't fully surrendered, doubts I hide deep inside, and fears that sometimes make me hesitate to trust your way. I confess that I am still holding on to what you have already told me to release, afraid to let go because it feels like losing control. Even though I know it hurts me, I find myself resisting your gentle push, clinging to familiar pain or comfort. I am aware of my weakness and my human inability to surrender completely, yet I cry out for your help. Teach me to trust in your silence, to believe even when I cannot see your hand, to surrender what I am still holding on to tightly, knowing that only in giving up can I find true freedom. Help me to open my eyes to your wisdom, to hear beyond the noise of my fears and doubts, and to accept that your silence is not absence but a sign of your patience and divine purpose. I acknowledge that you are patient, good, and faithful, even when I falter or forget your promises. Your mercy sustains me, and your care surrounds me on every side. I thank you for the journey so far, the healing that has begun, the hope that still persists, and the new beginnings you are shaping within me. I consecrate my thoughts, my decisions, my emotions, and my path to your hands, trusting that you are working all things for my good. I surrender to you everything that still binds me, every piece of my brokenness and confusion, and I choose to walk with you, even without seeing, but believing in your love, trusting that your plan is greater than anything I can understand. In surrender, I find my peace, and in hope, I find my strength. Leaving behind what has broken you is trusting in the one who can restore you completely. When silence surrounds you, remember that God's calling is still active, guiding you toward hope and renewal. If this message touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who needs to hear these words. And if you feel led to sow a seed of gratitude and faith, click the Super Thanks button and give generously. Your support helps us continue sharing hope every day. May the peace and strength of Christ be with you today and always. Walk in faith, knowing that God's love never leaves you, and his calling remains alive in your heart.